own a PlayStation 2, chances are hearing this sound brings back a lot of fond memories. Yes, that's the jangle that follows you everywhere in Ratchet & Clank. The sound that signifies you're getting richer with every step, and that new firepower and good times are just around the corner. Before Insomniac was known for its creative weapon design in Resistance, it was famous for its creative weapon design in Ratchet & Clank, a series of action platformers that were charming, fun, and packed a visual punch.
This ship is amazing.
Welcome aboard the Phoenix, gentlemen.
Whoa.
Fast forward to 2012 and the three main PS2 titles, Ratchet & Clank 2 Locked and Loaded, and the cheeky Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal are back, running in 1080p and at 60 frames per second. They look glorious, sharp as attack and bursting with colour. Of course, they look great first time around too, but the cartoony visual style has lent itself well to being remastered. Check out Ratchet & Clank 3 running on PS2 versus PS3. This is the most visually accomplished of the titles in this collection, yet the leap in resolution and texture clarity makes an enormous difference. It's obviously not going to look as detailed or lush as the future titles, but there's something hugely appealing about this more Spartan look nonetheless. It wouldn't be an HD remake without 3D support either, although turning 3D on means a drop in resolution to 720p and a drop in frame rate to 30 frames per second. I personally don't feel the trade-off is worth it. Buttery, responsive action is kind of the point. And for my money, the 3D mode isn't as comfortable a viewing experience. Unlike that other iconic PS2 series, Jak and Daxter, which reinvented itself with every installment, the Ratchet & Clank games took the formula established by the first title and ran with it. All three games are, at their core, a compelling mix of light platforming, even lighter puzzle solving, and heavy combat, backed by an arsenal that just keeps growing. There are gadgets aplenty too, from staples like the swing shot and magna boots, to one-shots like the hydro displacer and tractor beam. As the series progresses, the controls grow more responsive, the weapons feel more potent, and ever more enemies are thrown at the player. The graphics steadily improve, as do the menus, new minigames and side missions are introduced, Clank gets more abilities, Quark goes from hero to zero to, monkey, and the characters and sense of humour get more and more assured. The gameplay balance really is bang on throughout. Each location you visit has multiple missions and objectives, making the world feel open and waiting to be explored, while unlocking new gadgets means previously inaccessible areas are yours for the taking. Oh, and that noise? That noise is the veritable heartbeat of each game, promising that the next insane weapon, the Rip You a New One missile launcher, the Sheepinator, the Rift Inducer, are within reach. After all, sometimes you just need to turn your enemies into sheep, or suck them into black holes. As a trilogy, it's the jump between the first game and the second that's most marked. The controls are way more responsive, the level of polish in the presentation leaps ahead.
Oh no!
And the weapons are just so much more visceral. Going from the glove bomb to the mini nuke, the blaster to the lancer, it's like night and day. If Day can then be upgraded into an even more badass version, like Day 2, The Sun's Revenge. Oh, and the very low difficulty of the original also makes way for a little more challenge in the follow-up, setting the scene for the larger scale battles in the final title.
Soon, all robots will bask in the liberty and equality of my benevolent, iron-fisted rule.
Each game in this collection has its own distinct charm. Even the first title, which feels a little primitive, is well worth revisiting, and Insomniac clearly hit its stride with Locked and Loaded and Up Your Arsenal. Explosive combat, solid platforming, and endearing characters, what's not to like? For more on Ratchet & Clank, point your Sheepinator at IGN.com.